Good day and welcome to another Monday segment of A Week at the Plot. There hasn't been a Monday segment for quite a few weeks, so I'm glad to be starting A Week at the Plot on a Monday as it should be. And I've also just realised it's the last day of January. I mean, you know what? I was saying this all through last year. Where has the month gone? I mean, January has whizzed by. It's been really, really busy for me, but it has whizzed by. And I have to say, I'm glad that as I look ahead, I've got more space to get on and do the things that I want to do and are going to be beneficial for myself and Richard. And one of the things that's beneficial for myself and Richard is for us to eat well. Not too much, but eat well. And this evening we're going to have a quick roast. I'll do some roast potatoes, not our own potatoes. We don't have any left. Brussels sprouts, yay! The Portuguese cabbage and also a parsnip. And I think we're going to have all of those steamed, including the parsnip. We won't add further fat and calories to the parsnip by making it with a Gruyere sauce. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a version of the flapjacks that Richard did a couple of weeks ago. I'll put a link in here. He did these flapjacks with pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds and carrots. And were there walnuts in it? I can't remember. But I'm going to make that type of nut roast for us to have this evening, or seed roast. And usually I've got a recipe that works, well, several recipes that work really well. They have a lot of ingredients in them, but I love the simplicity of the flapjacks, the savoury flapjacks that Richard did a couple of weeks ago. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to keep life easy and do that for this evening. So yeah, that's great. That's great. And we have Storm Corrie. At the moment, we've got the very lower end of it because it's giving most of its gusts up in the north of England and in Scotland. So we've just got the tail end, though it is blustery. I mean, no doubt about it, it's blustery. The wind noise may have come out whilst I was filming. I don't know. Obviously, if that does happen, then when I upload it to YouTube, we play with the sound a little bit to bring that sort of gusty noise down. But if you're watching this on Planet Vegetaria, if that gusty noise is there, it's there. But the weather is just glorious, and it has been all day. I worked through till 1 o'clock at my desk, and then Richard came home and we had some lunch. He went back to work. I did a couple of things, and now I'm down here, and that's all I'm doing today. I'm just harvesting. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take more time out for myself, and I'm going to go and have a walk along the canal before going back home and then putting the pieces together for uploading to Planet Vegetaria. Planet Vegetaria. Did I say something wrong? I hope not. What else did I want to say? Oh, yes. And I will also be posting the third piece that I did for the Guernsey Press in the series of A Guernsey Gardener in London. That came out on Saturday and it's online now today. So later on, I'll be posting that to Planet Vegetaria, to Richard and Paul, and also as a community post on YouTube. And yeah, it's a nice one. It's a nice one because it sort of wrote itself. And I think, I mean, the other two did as well, but they needed a little bit more, not planning. This one, both of the ones I've written so far flowed, but this one really flowed. And I got a few paragraphs in, few paragraphs down, and then it just all came out, and I thought, oh, I'll mention that there and I'll mention that there. So yeah, that's great. And of course at the moment I'm writing the next one, which is going to be about storms and seaweed. So yeah, that will be out, I think, in a couple of weeks' time. And what else did I want to say? There was something else I wanted to say, and I think I've forgotten. Oh no, what I'm also doing at the moment, and so many plot holders have been asking for this, is pricing up compost again for our site. You'll remember that last year we had, I think it was 7 or 8 pallets of compost. I think it was something like 410 bags of compost, mulch or soil improver. And quite a few plot holders, I think about 10, have asked, are you doing the same this year? And over the last couple of weeks, I have, in my spare time, been pricing up compost. Now, the thing is, we want it bagged because then it's easier to control. So if someone wants to buy 4 bags, they can buy 4 bags. To measure out 4 bags from a big jumbo bag is not going to be quite as easy. And you know what? I don't want to make my life difficult. And the other thing about that is also, I've just realized what's going on at the gate. What's also good about it is that the bags, because of my association with For Earth's Sake, those bags can be recycled. The plastic can be recycled, which you might not necessarily be able to do in a normal situation. And what is happening at the moment, you might be able to hear a bit of beep, beep, beep reversing, is 2 of our plot holders have arranged for wood chip to be delivered. So one of our local tree work companies, arborists, the one that we use to do our back garden, they're reversing into our through our gate and into the driveway at the moment to tip a load of wood chip onto an area that's specifically for wood chip, compost, burning, when we have our once a year bonfire for fireworks. Not for fireworks, because we don't have fireworks, for what's the name? Guy Fawkes. That's it, Guy Fawkes, not fireworks, Guy Fawkes. So yeah, they're just about to tip that, and then the plot holder is going to obviously barrow all that she needs to her plot. And then when she has done that, because she's organised it, I'm sure she'll either put a post on Facebook or WhatsApp in our private group for the site, I mean, letting other people know if there is some available for them to take. But she has organised it, so she obviously gets first dibs on what arrives. We are going to organise another tip or 2 tips of wood chips for everyone else here. But this one is specifically for that plot holder because she has organised it. Anyway, I'm going to go down there and have a look at what she's getting. It's always interesting to see what that wood chip is. You know, is it Leylandii? Is it hardwood? Is it lots of ivy? You know, I know she's using it for her paths, so, you know, she's not too bothered. Anyway, waffling, aren't I? Waffling, yes, on this Monday segment, a Monday waffle. Right, I'm going. I'll see you again very soon. Bye. This is a gooseberry I'm going to be pruning back. There's quite a lot of old growth. You can see this one coming up here. And I'm going to be taking that back to where there's a growth point like there. You can see here there's a shoot coming off. So I'm going to be taking that back to there. But in the middle here you can see lots of silvery ones. The first thing I'm going to do is take most of those out because they're coming up through the center, and we want to try and start shaping this to have a clear center so that air can get in there. It really is quite an old bush that hasn't been pruned for many a year, so it is remedial pruning. It will look quite different to this at the end, quite small. Let me just start taking those silvery ones out. Right, we've got some bruised wood here and crossing. So actually, I'm going to take this out right down to there. Taking a third off. Taking a third off here. Taking this silvery one off. Cutting this back. Cutting this one back. Right, so we've got some shoots coming out here, which I'm just going to trim a few more off. One in the middle, taking that off. Dead wood here. Gosh, very dead wood there. Right. I know you can't see very well, particularly because you've got this blackberry coming up, this green one coming up at the back, but I've cut everything back by about a third. It really needs reshaping. If I was going to be staying here for a year, I think I would cut this right down to the ground and let it regrow and then shape it from there. But I want some fruit this year, so I'm going to leave it like this. This here is a really overgrown gooseberry, not pruned for many a year, and you can actually see that. I'm not sure if you can, but there's some lichen on some of the branches, and lichen develops over years. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is just take it back by a good third and then look at shaping it. I can see some in the middle here that really could come out to start opening up the space in the middle to let air in. Right, I'm just going to crack on. I'm not sure if you can see the difference, but this has been given quite a major haircut. Apart from cutting back by about a third, I've taken out any wounded or broken stems and just sort of been thinking about how air is going to flow through. But I think that's looking pretty good. Now we've got the three. Well, in fact, let me move you over to there. Here, here, and over here, we've got 3. But I'm not sure if you remember, but these were sort of one plant that I split up last year and found out it was actually 3 plants. I bare rooted them like I did with all the others, and they really grew a lot last year. So I'm going to do exactly the same with these as I've done with the 2 on the left already. I'm going to take a lot of growth out and start opening up the center of each. They're very close. You'd normally have them spaced much, much further apart. And when we move, I think all of these will be coming with us and be spaced further apart. And then we can actually show you close up how to prune soft fruits. But yeah, I can see a lot of growth that has gone into each other, and I'm just going to start doing all of that and clearing it all out. We'll have a look when I've done it. So hopefully you can see that we've thinned these down quite a bit by pruning, taking away any crossing branches, taking away anything that was going to be growing into the middle so that we can increase airflow, taking away any damaged wood. And what we've done today is more about remedial pruning to deliver better shape and structure than about this year's fruit. But hopefully what we've done here will invigorate the growth into the areas that we have left, and we'll get better fruiting as well. We've got the dead branch there, or broken branch, that has grown, so we're going to cut that out. Looking in this case for an outward facing bud, I'm going to take that out completely. This is beginning to cross. Take that out completely. This is dead. And now I'm just going to bring these back by about a third. I'm going to take that off. It's a bit dead down there. That'll do. Again, more about shaping. Oh, I'm going to take that one out. That's going into the middle. More about shaping and opening up an area in the middle for air. Yeah. I'm not sure whether you can see in this sunlight, but we've really opened up this bed by the pruning that we've done today. That blackberry will need to be tied in, but I'll do that another day. But yeah, I'm pleased with what I've done. Definitely. With the really bright sun, I'm not sure if you will have been able to see exactly what I was doing with the pruning of the gooseberries or the blackcurrant. But basically, it was all about shaping and getting air into things today. Those plants have not been well maintained. I would have said in their life, actually, looking at them. I think someone bought them, put them in, and then hasn't really maintained them since. We obviously took them all back to bare root last year and then planted them up. And what we did is we did a little bit of pruning of them last year, but not very much at all, because we just wanted them to get to know the fruit bed that they were in. And as you saw last year, we got some really good fruit from them, particularly the first one I did, which is a red gooseberry. And the others did fine. The blackcurrant didn't do a lot in that first year after planting out. A blackcurrant, in my opinion, won't do very much at all. But yeah, today was about opening up the centre, thinking about airflow, because a lot of fruit bushes are prone to mildew and other diseases. So the more airflow you can get through, the better. So I was looking at dead wood, I was looking at diseased wood, I was looking at crossing branches, crossing growth. And I was also looking at where in this year's growing season, because those branches will grow this year, the direction of that growth to see if it's going to grow or cross into another branch. So I've been thinking ahead and cutting back anything that I thought is going to cross another branch this year. And we'll see how they do. And then at the end, after I'd done that, I just cut everything back by about a third. I mean, people get quite anxious about pruning. And with fruit bushes like this, I mean, you know, you can, if you over prune, if you prune beyond what might be truly beneficial for it this year, then it's going to grow anyway. You'll get your fruit next year. You'll have less fruit this year. But sometimes, you know, that's a good thing. And with these, which are old or not looked after from young, it really needed that remedial pruning to get them into a little bit of shape, make sure that airflow is there, and just to basically keep them healthy. And I'm pleased with what I've done. When we're at a place where this is sort of coming into the future now, when we're either in another house or we're at another allotment where I've started things from scratch and we can show you the development of a fruit bush over a period of time, then I will do that. But I hope today has given you an idea that actually pruning isn't that difficult. And if you do cut things back a little bit more than they might wish to be done this year, then they'll come back next year anyway. They'll grow on this year and you'll have really good growth and fruiting next year. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to leave that there. That's the raspberries done last week. I've still got to do our Gooseberries. I think I'm going to take cuttings from those. If you wanted to take cuttings from some of the growth that we've cut off today, as long as it's older wood, then you could do it at this time of year, like we have done with the raspberry canes and like we did with the blackberry, the thornless blackberry, quite a few months ago. So I'll try and remember to put a link into that in this video when it gets uploaded to YouTube. But now with the sky lovely and blue, with lots of billowy clouds and the sun out, I'm going to go across to the meadows on the other side of the canal and have a walk. See you again soon. Bye. Good day. These are the second set of calved sheep on Hanwell Meadows. There were some calved sheep, wooden calved sheep, that appeared many years ago and stood here for many years. And then sadly somebody came along and vandalised them. And those were removed, and this second set has been put in their place. So this is Hanwell Meadows. The canal goes between those houses and that row of trees near us. The allotments are sort of over there, as is our house. And yeah, this is Hanwell Meadows. Over there is Warren Farm. We'll go there in a minute. There's another big field on the other side of that bank of brambles. And that's where I came in for my walk, right at the top up there. And now I'm going to leave the sheep. To carry on and walk to beyond where that person is, that person that I know, and down, yeah, I'll show you when we get there, but where there's a person in the far distance, far distance, who's just going out of view, that's where I'm going down to. This is the entrance we come in to Warren Farm Nature Reserve. I'm going that way, and then we'll go right around in front of that house up there, in front of those buildings, right around the top field, and then back down to here, where we'll go out that gate. Somebody's lost a scarf, so it's been put over the gate there. Not sure if you can see on top of that fence, there's 4 magpies. I've seen 12 so far, counted 12 all in one go, but they're flying off, as you can see. Near the sort of top corner now, you can just see some horses over there as well. So yeah, we came in right down there and just going around the field. These are all decrepit changing rooms. This area used to be for cricket and football. Over there were courts, tennis courts. Though in fact in the middle, just near where that guy is walking, there is still, I'm not sure if you can see, a very green landing strip, and that's for the Model Aircraft Club. They still use this, which is great. And in the spring and summer, this area here becomes a haven for skylarks, and therefore protected when they're nesting. Therefore the name Warren Farm Nature Reserve. And lots of other things that are here. New species of spider was found last year, one that hasn't been seen in this area before. So yeah, lovely place. We're now in the topmost reach of Warren Farm Nature Reserve. I'll be following those people in a minute, and then going down that tree line and coming out by that big tree in the middle. One bit of interest is there's a big scaff company here, and obviously they have scaff boards, and I know a number of our plot holders have got boards from here, so boards that are no longer good for scaffolding but good for an allotment. Heathrow's sort of that way as well. I can hear a plane going in, but it really is gorgeous. Look at that colour in that sky. And you know what, I'm going to leave that here for this week's A Week at the Plot. It's Wednesday. By the time you see this, we'll be back from Guernsey, where we're going for a few days to see Mum. And I'll be back at the plot, I would have thought, next Monday. And I think I'm going to be tidying up that blackberry, that thornless blackberry in the fruit bed that I didn't sort out this week. See you very soon. Bye.